So hello good people of the internet, it is I, Tommy Kelly, and this is Adventures in Woo Woo. And in this episode, I become a Randonaut. So what's a Randonaut? Well, let's get into the video and you'll find out. And hello adventurers in Woo Woo. And we're out on another adventure into the Woo Woo. And this one is using the Fatum app, or bot, from Telegram as part of the Randonauts from Reddit. And what does all that mean? Well, it's all started when Spud, who we did the RV game with, my friend who does the comedy cast and a number of other things, we started sending each other kind of mad Reddit subforums, like the Mandela Effect subforum and this place called Retconned. And Spud came across this whole idea of using this app which would send people to kind of random places in their locale, and they could set how far they wanted to travel. But you could go and get places that were considered attractors, which had high quantum weirdness to it, I suppose. And then there was kind of the opposite of that and different kind of things. But the attractors thing is what most people have got into. And it's basically, you get Telegraph if you use that, or Telegram, excuse me. It's kind of like a WhatsApp kind of, messaging app, and you sign up to a bot, and then you give it your location, and then you get an attractor. You ask, give me an attractor, send me to a place where I can go, and you can put it in whatever kind of area you want to be in. Like it's a 5,000 kilometers, 5,000 meters, 500 meters, 1,000 meters, all that. So I put in a few and we're going to check them out and see if weirdness happens, because going by that Reddit or subreddit, when people get to these places, it's really weird, or weird things happen. So let's check them out. So the bot on Telegram does give you like a Google map of where you have to go and all that, but I don't want to show the Google map I got quite exactly on YouTube, because it's quite close to where I live. And as much as I love you all, never give your full location out on the internet and all that, but we're kind of close to it, or as close as we can kind of get. And I'll show you where we are. So my attractor point is just literally the other side of that tree. So I can't really get to it, as you can see, because of that hedge. But yeah, I'll try and see if I can get anywhere closer. Jessie the dog could probably get in. Couldn't you, Jessie? So this is about as close as I can get to my tractor point. As you can see, it's just a bus. There's two lovely butterflies here. There was three, and we're doing a weird kind of a dance on the hay here, whatever this is. But I tried to record it, and my camera just wouldn't go on. So I suppose that's kind of part of the high strangeness of these things, where you try to, get evidence of these things, and it doesn't work out. The three butterflies, quite close together, doing a strange dance, and that was cool. That was kind of weird. At least I got something by being here. Sometimes you get to your attractor point and there's nothing there, which is why there's kind of a sideline thing, which I didn't do, unfortunately, of to say bring a bag and clean up some rubbish when you get to your place. So at least if there's nothing there, you've done something good. So yeah, that's attractor point 1. We've a few others to go to, but so far, yeah, dancing butterflies. I'll count that as a success. Jessie, could you get out of the sun, please, because it's messing with my camera. The exposure just won't set properly. I can always tell when it's time to do some recording because as soon as I press record, someone will start doing something that's really annoying, like cutting their hedge. Literally, no sound, pulled out my camera, and then someone started cutting their hedge with a chainsaw, whatever you cut hedge with it. Anyway. So this second attractor spot is actually on the old trail that I used to do all my jogging and running on in the original vlog, and it's a place I'm fairly familiar with, and as well I'm familiar with the trail. I'm assuming that the exact attractor spot will be slightly off the trail, so this is pretty cool. If nothing else, I'm getting a good walk today. We're getting pretty close now. Don't see any UFOs or any dimensional portals or I don't think any sort of Mandela effect has happened. Like I'm not suddenly rich or that sort of thing. You never know what we'll find. Getting close though. And we're here. And there is something here. It's quite cool. It's probably not the high strangeness that we were expecting or wanting, but the exact moment as well that I got to the place, someone crossed my path and someone said hello, so that was interesting too. So here's what it is. So it brought me to this tree. I've walked past this tree possibly a million times in my life and I've never seen it. So that's cool. That, well, you know, the whole, you don't see the forest for the trees and all that kind of thing, but it's one of those things that as you walk past every day you'll probably never take notice of because there's a number of trees. But from here on in, every time I walk down this lane, walk down this kind of walkway, it used to be an old railway, it's just a railway walk, I will notice this tree from now on and it'll hold a kind of a special, magical, high strangeness place in my heart. So it has certainly elevated this tree to woo-woo level. The place that's around me is all the old warehouses from the industrial part of town, and it's where I used to take all my photography. And the photography of Married, that one was taken here, Wall was taken here, and a couple of other ones. So it's a part of my aura, this place, I suppose, my creative aura. But yeah, so interesting. A tree or a plant that has now got magical properties because I have decided it is so. And so we're off to the final attractor. What was that? How strange is all about me. This looks to be, going by Google Maps, it looks to be in someone's front garden, so I'm not sure how creepy I want to be by just hovering around someone's garden. But we'll get as close as we can and see what the attraction level is here. There is actually an attraction level now that I think of it. When you get the generator, the bot, to give you this quantum high strangeness attraction point, it also gives you a level of woo, I suppose, or quantum strangeness. Maybe it isn't. I've kind of only half read most of the things, but I will have a cutaway right now which will tell you all about the entire thing, how to do it yourself, how to download the bot, all of those things, from a future Tommy, who's actually gone into detail and read all these things. But anyway, this Tommy is going to attraction point number 3. So, future Tommy here, and I have been reading the actual theory behind the whole thing, and it's the Fatum theory, and it's fucking mind-blowing. It's unbelievable. It's really brilliant. I'm like even more into it now than I was while I was doing it a couple of days ago. There's a lot in it. I'm going to leave the link in the description below, in the show description, and you check it out yourself. It's basically, the whole idea is, and you know, this is my simplified version of it, and I don't have a full understanding, is that even though our lives, you know, your day-to-day life, you can do whatever you want and you're open to a multitude of outcomes, and there's an indeterminate or even an infinite number of, say, other dimensions where different decisions you've made has led to different things. The problem is, or the idea is, that there isn't, because there's only a certain amount of things that you can do due to your circumstances, your personality, your beliefs, all of those things, all those factors that make you the world you live in and everywhere that you find yourself. So there's, rather than it being infinite, say, there's a certain deterministic, almost predictable kind of life that you lead, and no matter what decisions you make, there is going to be places, things, etc., that you're just not going to ever get to today or any day. And so the idea with this is that to break out of this reality tunnel and to get a bit more chaos into your life, and to break away from the stasis field, as they call it, into this genesis field, which is a greater, bigger, wider reality tunnel, less deterministic, more woo, more excitement, and all of this type of thing, is to pick random spots that you would never go to by your own kind of chain of thought and go to them. And it's to widen, you know, like it's like you will never, there's certain places even in your town, even in your city, wherever you live, that you will never see, you will never go to, because your decision making, your ideas about life, all that will never lead you to go, or even if you do go, you won't see them. And so then that's cool enough, that, you know, just to add that little extra bit of chaos into it as well. But then what the app does is that it picks, you put in the map that you want, you know, the area enclosement that you want to go to. It sends out thousands of, you know, random places to go. And then it looks at, is there any clusters? And if there's like significant clusters, then it says that there's probably the likelihood of something interesting going to happen there on a quantum level. There's also a thing, and I've noticed that if there's points where there's literally no, you know, randomness points has come, to call it the opposite. So you have the Attractor and a Repulsor, I think it's called. So that could be something equally there. So, but it's like pages of this thing that's written out, and I'm just reading it and reading it. This is mind blowing. I'm going to be doing loads of this. I think this is it. I'm extremely excited about it. So yeah, I believe all the details on that below. All the Reddit, where Spud found it and sent me it. The theory, how to do it, the app links, all of those things will be in the show description or on the website Adventures in Woo Woo if you find us later, and go to search for Fatum, Fatum, on the website. So yeah, do it. It's going to be awesome. And it also explains, sorry, before I finish, I have a kind of an elation moment at the end of this video when I come back, and it explains why I had that. So there you go. Watch out for that. That final Attractor was just someone's house, and it's just too weird, or at least I feel too weird, going into someone's front garden and having a look. Though it did see that at the very point where the attraction point was, there was the stub of a tree, is that what it's called? When a tree's been cut and it's just that wee base that's left. So that was interesting. But what was super interesting was on the way, I met one of my neighbours, who I've always said hello to, but we've never actually spoken. He's never, you know, he's an older man, and he stopped and he had a full conversation with me all about the weather and the frost in the morning and all those things that people have conversations about. But it was really nice, and it was really strange because I never spoke to him before, other than hello, how are you, what's the story, all of that type of thing. And then I found some rubbish in a hedge, and so I cleaned it. So all in all, mission accomplished. I really enjoyed it. It was a really nice kind of feeling getting out and about and going to these places, these random places. Being a randonaut is really fun, and it's a great way of injecting enchantment and magic into your life. Like I say, that tree or that plant will always be magic to me now, and I'm thankful for that. And it's helped lift my mood for the day, if nothing else. So I recommend that you all become randonauts, and maybe do it next time. I'm going to do it further away than just around my own town. You know, take a chance and go further away. So yeah. So I'm just back, and I wanted to add an addendum to the entire thing. It really enlivened and enchanted me, and I really reckon you should do it. It felt like when I was going around, like I was in a Tim Powers book, you know, like Last Call, where they're going around, you know, kind of affecting the weird of the world, or the magic, or randomness. It's Randonaut, obviously, is what it's the whole venture is. You become a randomnaut. But it definitely felt like I had stepped outside of time or the world or one of those things. And I'm aware it's all psychological all in my head, or maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't. Like, you know, let's be open-minded about these things rather than just always immediately saying, you know, it's live-action role-playing or it's psychological or whatever. But besides all that, it doesn't matter. It definitely felt like I had re-enchanted my world today, that I had warped into some kind of, you know, had walked into the chaos. Thomas Carlson talks about dragon points, which are kind of energy vortexes that are around the world, and you should look out for them, and it's like kind of where magic hides. And that's kind of what it felt with these kind of attractor points, that you were getting to some kind of almost like dimension. This is getting very woo-woo, but just go with me. kind of a dimension crossing or a place of power or some kind of place where the universe kind of started looking back at you, and it was cool, and it was magic. And one thing I've learned, Edwin, one thing I will certainly be doing is I will be using these attractor points, or whatever exactly they're called. I'm sure I have the nomenclature, the terminology wrong, but I will definitely 100% be using them to launch sigils, and I'd say that'll be an excellent use of attractor points. So it'll be interesting to see if any of you come up with other good uses for those things. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed my basic walk around RD, but I did. It was enchanting and it was magic. So yeah.